Yeah. Came about the jungle, dodging lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, no lie, low life, so high, living like we ain't kidding no guy. It was like we'd rather nose dive into a lake of fire.
Hey, what's up? I'm your host, Trey Dubya. Welcome to episode 1 of the Trey Dubya Podcast, experience, show, whatever makes your little heart merry, right? So today, it's not even really going to be like a podcast. It's really going to be more of a album review. I'm going to share a little bit about myself and why I decided to do this, and that's going to be it for the day. So I hope that this finds everybody doing well. I hope that everybody's staying safe, staying corona free. I've been seeing some stuff on my timeline, man, and cities are opening up partially, but boys is going all the way hard. You feel me? I'm talking about the governor said on Friday, 2 days from now, you can go start getting haircuts again and doing other stuff. And boys is having barbecues. They at the beach. No telling what's going on. You feel me? But it is what it is. To each his own. Everybody stay safe. God bless you. All right. Now, the album that I want to talk about. Well, I guess let me say why I did this first and foremost. So, first and foremost, man, I'm a Christian, right? I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, and I believe that He's the Messiah. So, that's been a constant theme in my life, right? So when that transformation occurred, naturally there was some sort of tension between what my mind was telling me, right, and the things that I was listening to, right? So I struggled trying to find things that I could listen to, music specifically, that I could listen to that wasn't a direct contradiction of things that I began to notice weren't of God. You feel me? So it's not about being perfect. It's not about saying that we never curse, or it's not about saying that we don't listen to quote unquote secular music, but it is about realizing that the things that we intake into our body are also going to be an influence on the things that come out, right? That's basic knowledge. What you put into a vessel will come out of a vessel, right? Not saying that if you listen to a song about killing, you're necessarily going to go out and kill, but I mean, if there's a reason why, right? Before athletic events, people may listen to certain types of music to get them in the mood to play. You understand? So, I mean, without a doubt, music definitely has an impact on our mood, right? Which could potentially have an impact on our actions. So personally, I struggled to find something that wasn't in direct conflict of the things that I was learning, the man that I was becoming and am still becoming. It's a process. But so I when I found the realm of quote unquote Christian hip hop, or believers that was doing music similar to the music that I already listened to, but the message didn't conflict with what I believed in, I loved it. I dove head first, right? So, and that was over 10 years ago. And I know that we all have our favorites. I definitely have my favorites in types of what I like sonically, right? Artists that I like, things that I like to hear. But man, it's been a journey. And I've noticed that it's becoming, like, music is becoming more saturated, right? So more music is put out than ever. It's easier access for artists to get the music to people. But man, if I'm going to speak candidly, it's been harder to find quality music, right? Like a lot of music lacks substance, in my opinion, right? Like, yeah, it sound good or it sounded right, but you're not saying nothing, man. You know, it used to be, especially with hip hop, right? It used to be that hip hop was a message, right? So like when you spit something in a flow or in a rhyme, like, not only did it sound good, not only did it rhyme, rap don't even rhyme half the time no more. Not only did it rhyme, but like there was a message, right? And you was like blown away by it. But I don't know. Those were the golden days, right? So But I mean, there's a lot of talented artists. But what I mean is, it's sometimes it's difficult to find something that sticks, right? So I just began to, I don't know, I said I'm gonna start a podcast or whatever, and it's gonna be some of my thoughts, right? Some album reviews, some music suggestions, and hopefully I can a way to help me network with other people who believe similar things and different things, and we can just talk about the music and the world, and I'm always up for conversation. All right. So enough of the rambling, the ramblings of an old man, right? But without further ado, let's get into this album review. Okay. So the album is CHH Ain't Dead, not CHH Isn't Dead. CHH Ain't Dead, Volume 1. Now, when I hear Volume 1, it makes me like my ears perk up. I'm like, okay, so Volume 1, like possibly it's gonna be a Volume 2. Maybe this will be a series that he'll do. All right. So the artist is Datin, Datin. The label is God Over Money, and it was released May 1st, 2020. As of right now, that was about 6 days ago, right? So, and let me say this, let me be fully transparent. Like, I wasn't expecting this album. I didn't know about it. Maybe I was out of the loop. You understand? Like, I wasn't waiting for it or anything like that. But boy, was I pleasantly surprised, right? Now, the first thing I noticed about this album, one, okay, so people know who Datin is. If you're familiar with the world of Christian hip hop or music that is about the Lord and Savior, right? You know about God Over Money. They're a really prominent label within that space, right? And Datin's one of their quote unquote premier artists, right? So a lot of people are familiar with him along with Bizzle and Jared Sanders, yada, 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 right? Now, the artwork for this album is phenomenal, right? If you look at it, it appears like each artist that's featured on the album is on the album cover, but it's a animated form, right? And it really is just dope. It's just dope. It looks good. It piques your interest as to what's coming ahead, and it's something different. You understand? It's something different. So immediately when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm ready. You got my interest perked up, all right? Now, the last time we heard from Datin was 2018, his last album, Hell in the Hallway, one of his more personal albums. I didn't realize that it had been 2 years. When I saw that he released the album, I was like, oh, okay, coming back to back. I know his last album didn't just drop, but I didn't realize it had been 2 whole years since he put out a body of work like that. You understand? So Hell in the Hallway, which was decent. Now, this album, like I said, boy, I was surprised. I was surprised in a good way. He came with it. Album is 15 tracks. And let me say this, 15 tracks out of 15, I would say a good 8 of them have been in constant repeat for me personally. That's a good offering. And I have it, and like I said, it came out on the 1st, so it's only been out for 6 days. So as you know, albums, you need time to digest them, because sometimes you may not get some of the lyrical wordplay. You may skip over a song because your mood just isn't there or whatever. But man, already out of 15 tracks that he offered on this album, a good 7, 8 of them have already been in constant replay. I've already added them to another playlist. And what I'm saying is not 7 or 8 good tracks, 7 or 8 phenomenal songs, right? Phenomenal. The kind that you text your homeboys about, right? I've been sending them to my wife, like, hey, check this out, right? 7 or 8 of them phenomenal. Now, it's not saying that the other ones aren't good, but I mean phenomenal, right? I remember days where I would get albums, and out of 15 tracks, you might like 3 or 4, and that was considered a good album. You understand? But man, phenomenal. I definitely recommend this album. I definitely recommend this album. I have it pulled up right here in front of me, and I'm gonna put on the screen and let you see the ones that I suggest, the ones that I personally think are phenomenal, right? So 15 tracks, right? So the first one, track number 2, Move. Then track number 3, Jungle. Track number 6, Hall of Martyrs. Track number 7, which may be my best and my most favorite album on this track. Track 7, Walking While Blind. Walking While Blind. Man. Walking While Blind. Then, I don't want to play it. Walking While Blind. Then the next one, Back in the Ring. Hey, track 11 too. Track 11, Back in the Ring. Crazy in a good way. Track 12, Bibbidi Boppity Boo. It sounds funny, but that's the one featuring Bizzle. But it's dope. It's dope. And then another thing I want to say about this also is interludes. Interludes feature talking. Interludes is the space in between your actual musical tracks, and has one of the godfathers of Christian hip hop, Michael Peace, right? So the whole album that is just put together phenomenally. Everything is great, right? The lyrics are phenomenal. The lyrics are focused on God, right? Which is something that has kind of been lost in the realm of hip hop. Something that's kind of been forgotten about, right? So everything about this album, I would say, is phenomenal. It's phenomenal, right? The lyrics, I would say, something that I've noticed within the genre is that a lot, and let me take that back. I'm not going to say a lot, but there is a nice proportion, right, of the genre that is really, if you think about it, is really more self-centered than Christ-centered, right? So like, and that's a conversation that we can have all day, but like, what qualifies as Christian hip hop? You understand? What qualifies as a Christian artist? Right? Because they're two different things. I can be a Christian artist, right? But the music that I make may not necessarily be Christ-centered. Not to say that the music that I'm making is pushing the world away from God, but my music can be somewhat neutral, right? So within the realm of CHH, Christian hip hop, what qualifies or what quantifies an album to be in that genre, right? And it's something that you see with this label, with God Over Money. You know exactly where they stand, right? Like 98, 99% of their lyrics are pointing you directly towards God, right? There's scripture references, right? There's anecdotes, there's wordplay, and then the glory is always given back to God. Very rarely do you see their music kind of pointing towards them, and that's something that, like, I was listening to another artist. I'm not gonna say his name, right? Another artist the other day, a phenomenal artist, and it's a little bit different type of music, but his work is listed under CHH. But like when you listen to it, it's really just music. It's music without cursing, without profanity. It's feel-good music where you put it on, right? You can ride around with kids in the car, right? With your wife in the car, with your mom in the car, and you won't have to worry about the things or the content that they're hearing. But is it quote unquote Christian music? Because I see, like, I'm a little bit different. Like the music that I dive into, right? Like the CHH or the Christian hip hop that I listen to, I can listen to really, like, when I'm really worshiping as I listen to it, because the content of it is pointing you back to God, right? So what what are the classifications to be within this genre, right? And that's a whole different, like I said, a whole different conversation that could last. And I may do a whole podcast about it and see other people's opinions and have people chime in later on. But man, this album is phenomenal. 15 tracks, like I said, 18 of them are already on constant repeat for me, right? But I definitely recommend it. Like, if I had to give this album a rating, I would say, man, a good 4.5 out of 5, at least, right? 4 to 4.5 out of 5, right? Very stellar album. I really think this is the best Christian album that I've heard in a long time. That I've heard in a very, very, very long time. It's diverse, different types of songs, but like it's good music. So I definitely recommend it. It's on all platforms. I definitely recommend it. I can't say enough good things about it, man. I was pleasantly surprised, and I really think that Datin is filling a void in the genre with this album. I'm really thinking that with this album, he's gonna make some people step their game up. You're gonna have to. You're gonna step your game up, or you're gonna get left behind, man. Because it's a lot of rapping. It's a lot of rapping without substance. It's a lot of just getting on the track and harmonizing and not really saying much. And it's like you can tell that something went into this album. You can tell that he's focused, man. So he stepped his game up, man. I think he's putting the CHH community on notice, man. God Over Money is doing it. Y'all boys better keep up. This is the best CHH. This is one of the best albums I've heard in a long time, period. Not just CHH. Period. Right? This is one of the best albums that I've heard in a long time. Once again, the artist is Datin. The album is CHH Ain't Dead, Volume 1. The label is God Over Money. It's on all platforms. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Put a comment down here or get at me on Instagram and at YouTube at Trey Dubya. That's TreyDubya. Trey Dubya. Follow, subscribe, contact me. Let me know if you agree with my analysis. But in my opinion, hey, he's putting people on notice. God Over Money is doing it big. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
I ain't wanna see an early grave just to go to hell for my whirly ways. When I die, I wanna see the pearly gates. I jumped on the phone, called my connector, told him that I wouldn't re-up. Eventually I would get